Hi, my name is George H.W. Bush. I was born in Milton, Massachusetts on June 12, 1924. My dad, Prescott, taught me about duty and service, and my mom, Dorothy, taught me not to brag and not to take credit if I could give it to someone else. These lessons have guided me throughout my life. I went to school at Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts. I graduated in 1924 and entered the U.S. Navy Reserve 8 days later. I was the youngest pilot in the U.S. Navy at the time. I flew a plane called an Avenger, which could carry up to 2,000 pounds of bombs. I flew from the aircraft carrier San Jacinto in the Pacific Ocean. My plane was shot down in September 1944 by Japanese fire while on a mission. I floated in my life raft for several days until I was rescued by the submarine USS Finback. I stayed aboard for a month. After this ordeal, they allowed me to go home for Christmas. While home, I married Barbara. We had 6 children together and are still married to this day. After the war ended, I moved to Texas and co-founded Bush Overbuy Oil Company. This is when I decided to enter a career in politics. My first position was chairman of the Harris County, Texas Republican Organization. I tried for a Senate seat 2 years later and lost. I ran for U.S. House of Representatives and won. I was re-elected U.S. House of Representatives in 1968. 2 years later, I tried for a Senate seat again and lost. But I was named U.S. Ambassador to the UN. For the next 17 years, I held several other positions, such as Chairman of the Republican National Committee, Director of the CIA, and Vice President to Ronald Reagan. This is when I decided to run for U.S. President. In 1988, I was elected 41st President of the United States. One of my promises is that I would use the power of President to help. I also said I would pay attention to child care, education, and the environment. In 1990, I passed 2 important acts, the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Civil Rights Act. In 1991, I passed the Clean Air Act. A year later, I passed the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. This helped trade between U.S., Canada, and Mexico. I did many other important things during my presidency to make America a better place. In 1993, I returned to Houston as a private citizen in the United States.